Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we're going to be showcasing the brand new Swimsuit Mirko in My Hero Ultra Impact. That's right, we're 2 for 2 with the newest characters in this game, and honestly it's such a good feeling, especially because my gacha luck in My Hero Ultra Rumble has been so bad lately. So at the very least, I'm super happy that my gacha luck in My Hero Ultra Impact has been really good. So yeah, we got the newest character again, and honestly this is a really cool character because Mirko herself is a unique character to this game. What I mean by that is you can't currently play Mirko in any other My Academia game as of right now. I'm sure in the future she'll be added to other My Academia games, but as of right now you can only play her in Ultra Impact. And then on top of that, subsequently, we've never seen her in this costume before in this game, and also given the fact that Mirko herself is a unique character, and you know, we haven't seen her in any other My Academia game, which would also mean we haven't seen her in any other costumes in any other My Academia game. This also is a unique variant of her in this game, so not only is the character unique, but the variant is unique as well, and I think that's super cool. Like, I really like it when we get like really unique characters or really unique variants, or a combination of the two like this Mirko. I think it's really cool, and I can't wait to dive in and show her off because we got a lot to show off in this video. I actually pulled a new memory with this event that she got introduced with. We got 2 new stages, I believe, or at the very least like event exclusive stages that we won't see for a while, so I want to show off them. And yeah, I also just think it's fitting because I just got back from the shore, so it's really cool that we can show off a lot of like beach-based things, which is also the main reason why I didn't really upload last week, so sorry about that. I was on vacation, but I'm back now, so let's get into it. So this is Mirko. She is a red type character and a UR character. I currently have her maxed out in the level department, the advanced leveling department, and the trust level department as well, which is really cool. Going over to her ability boards, I have her as of right now on page 9 on the basic route, but I'll probably finish up all the way to 13. And the main reason why is because not only is she a unique character, like this is like a very unique character, but on top of that, in the last video, someone left a really nice comment talking about some of the things I missed with Delta Dabi, and I want to show off in this video one of the main things I probably should have shown off in that video, because one of my main complaints with Delta Dabi was the fact that he had a 5-turn cooldown. But the comment mentioned that if you basically DX that action skill by getting the basic route up to pages 10 and 12, that cooldown time goes from a 5-turn cooldown to a 4-turn cooldown. So firstly, real quick, thank you for that nice comment. It was actually really helpful and I really appreciate it. But also on top of that, I want to show off these like action skills as if they were like fully DX, like if I did get up to page 10 and 12, because as of right now I haven't gotten up there yet because I'm out of stamina. I've been kind of juggling leveling her up plus completing the event. But yeah, I just wanted to show off what like a fully DX skill would look like, or both of her fully DX skills, what they'll look like when you do get there. I'm not going to go over them here. I'll go over the skills when we talk about her moveset, but I just wanted to show off what they'll look like in the future, because when you DX a skill, not only does it increase like the damage and like the buff slash debuff values that skill gives off, but also it can affect the cooldown time. So I just wanted to show that off because I made that mistake with Delta Dabi, so I want to, you know, correct it with this video. And then going over to the peace route, I have finished it up. I have been summoning a lot on her banner because it's a step up banner, and I really like those gacha banners because while the gacha system is definitely not perfect in this game, I definitely think the step up banners are like a step in the right direction. Like I'm not trying to be funny, I do think they're a step in the right direction. It's you get what I'm trying to say. Like I think they're good. Every single time you summon on the banner, it feels like you're getting rewarded, so I really like summoning on the step up banners. And I actually also pulled 2 extra copies of the character. I wasn't trying to, because the way I like to summon in this game is I like to save my hero gems for like new characters when they get released, because you never know if it's going to be a unique character that gets added into the game, a unique variant of a character that gets added into the game, or just a new character to the game like itself. Like it's like a very like fun, like it's a game that constantly gets updates, and they're pretty good updates usually every 2 weeks. So I just want to make sure I save my hero gems for the new content, especially like I said, if it's a unique character or a unique variant or just a new character to the game itself. Like I like to save my hero gems, and that's how I like to summon. Like I try to like get like 1 copy of each character, but if I pull more copies, that's awesome. And I did pull more copies. I pulled 2 more copies of this Mirko. I believe you need 3 copies to fully DX a character, so I don't know if I'm gonna go for that 3rd copy like like if I'm like actively going to be trying to do it. Like again, I like summoning on the step up banner though, because again on step 5 you're guaranteed a UR character, and there's still a lot of UR characters I'm missing from the general pool, so I'll probably still be summoning on that banner until it goes away. And if I just so happen to get the third one, that'd be really cool, like that third copy I need. But as of right now, I'm not actively trying to go for that third copy, but it would be pretty nice. Plus I haven't even finished like up to like the second copy that I need to use on the DX piece route, because I still need more stars because I maxed out the piece route. So yeah, that's where I'm currently at with Mirko on the ability boards. And yeah, let's just break down her skills now and then show her off gameplay wise. So she does get an event bonus for the Making Waves water sports event, because she was released with that event. And basically what the bonus is it will increase items obtained from event quests by 30%, which is really nice. Going over to her actual kit, her plus ultra move is called Luna Splash. It deals 600% damage to a single opponent, which is pretty good. 600% damage is like really nice. Like that's pretty good damage. But the single target like attack, it's standard for plus ultra moves, but it would be better if it was a multi-target attack. But also we're talking about Mirko, who's a really good like one-on-one kind of fighter, so it makes sense. Plus, like I said, it's pretty standard that like a lot of plus ultra moves are single target, so that's the only thing that could be really better with that like first sentence. But overall, pretty good damage, and again, pretty standard when it comes to single target attacks. Increases character's critical skill impact by 10%, which is stackable. That's not bad. You know, obviously critical skill impact is really nice, because that means the critical hits will be hitting harder, and it gets increased by 10%, but then it's stackable, which stackable, like in theory, is a really good like term, but the issue is we don't really have a game mode where that really makes like a difference, because like theoretically if you're battling like a boss, or like you're in a game mode that like will take a while, then that could be really good, because you're constantly stacking critical skill impact by 10%. But by the time you like stack, like, you know, you would need like the match to go on a while for that to really be really good. But a lot of matches and like all of like the game modes in this game don't last that long, so stackable like doesn't really play up to its like full potential. Like you could have honestly replaced like increases characters critical skill impact by 10% stackable with like increases characters critical skill impact by like 30 or 40%, because again, like the matches just kind of go by super quickly. So theoretically, like in the future, like stackable could be like a really like good buff. I'm not saying like this is a bad buff, I'm just saying that it's not reaching its full potential. Like it's good, but it could be better is what I'm trying to say. Like and it's not that it's bad that it could be better, like it hasn't reached its full potential because we don't have a game mode like that is what I'm trying to say. But it's still not bad. And then increases the freezing and frostbite resistances of all allies for 3 turns. Now that's kind of just weird. I was trying to figure out why they even threw that into this plus ultra move, and I have like an actual theory, and then like a maybe if you can kind of like connect that dots kind of theory. So we'll go with that one first. The main reason why is because, well, this is a Swimsuit Mirko, and if you're on the beach, like maybe like it makes sense because you're like in like a hot environment, so it would increase like the freezing and frostbite resistance of all allies. But then I'm like, wait a second, how does that really make any sense? Like that's like some really like connect the dot kind of thing, and it's like, wait, that kind of makes sense but also doesn't, because wouldn't you want to like increase like burn, because like you're putting on sunblock, so it increases like your resistance to burning or something. I don't know, but my actual working theory is because I think this character will be like a direct counter to the new climax battle boss that we're going to be getting, which is Getten. Getten not only is an ice user in My Academia, so it would make sense because, you know, increasing the freezing and frostbite resistance of all allies for 3 turns, which is probably going to be really good for that climax battle, because again, Getten's an ice type user. But then on top of that, what really plays into that theory is Mirko is a red type character, and Getten we now know will be a green type character, so she has the type matchup as well. So she's probably going to be like a good direct counter for like that new Getten boss that's going to be added into the game soon. And I think that's why they threw it in there, so she will be a direct counter. Like, for example, like we've seen this before with climax battle bosses, there's always like the meta picks for them. Like with Sir Night-Eye, like Celebration Bakugo really makes a difference. So I'm assuming she's probably going to be like Celebration Bakugo like is to like Serenade, like she's gonna be like that but to Getten, if that makes any sense. Like theoretically, like I think this will be a really good plus ultra move theoretically in the future if they add a game mode that will benefit stackable, like the term stackable. But then on top of that, like when they add Getten in, like that climax battle boss, theoretically this plus ultra move will be even better because it will be like directly beneficial to like countering Getten. So I think in the future this could be a really, really good plus ultra move, but for now it's a pretty good plus ultra move still. But like I said, theoretically it could be even better. And that's not because of anything in the plus ultra move being bad. It just hasn't reached its full potential is what I'm trying to say. So overall, a pretty good plus ultra move and pretty interesting. We'll see where it goes when Getten gets added into the game. But again, my working theory is that this character will be a direct counter to Getten, just like a lot of like other climax battle bosses have like their direct counters. Going over to our first action skill, it's called Lunar Ring. It deals 350% damage to a single opponent, which again, 350% damage is pretty good for an action skill and single target attack. Again, could be better, but again, Mirko is more of like a 1v1 fighter, so it makes sense. And a lot of like attacks in this game are single target, and you can do really well with single target attacks, so it could be better, but it also makes sense. So it doesn't make it bad, it just could be better is what I'm trying to say. Also gives character the ability to evade one time. That's pretty good. Evasion is always nice to have, especially in like the speed meta and stuff like that. The only real direct counter is Bullseye, I believe. But yeah, it's a pretty nice buff, but nothing too crazy. Also, I think it's pretty interesting that this skill only has 2 sentences. Like, I can't remember the last time like a newer character had only like a couple of sentences in their like skill description, because usually like with the newer characters, they'll like stuff like these skills with like so much stuff to like activate their like gimmicks and stuff like that. And so far from like what I've tested and from what I've seen, she seems like a pretty straightforward character, which doesn't automatically mean she's bad. Like that doesn't mean like that makes the character bad. Like straightforward doesn't mean bad. I think that's pretty cool that we have a newer character that's pretty straightforward actually to like just get to the point. And yeah, I think it's pretty interesting because like when it comes to like newer characters, especially because she's the newest character in the game, they usually like overstuff these like skills, and then you have to do like a whole bunch of stuff to activate the gimmick. So it's pretty nice to just get like, you know, a character that's pretty straightforward. You know, I think it's a nice change of pace actually. I like that a lot. Also, another thing I really like a lot is the fact that the cooldown time is 3 turns. That's really good. A 3-turn cooldown time, extremely good. So overall, a pretty good action skill. The ability to evade is pretty nice. 3-turn cooldown is insane, and 350% damage to a single opponent, not bad. Overall, pretty good action skill. Going over to our next action skill, it's called Luna Fall. Deals 350% damage to a single opponent. Again, I think that's the same thing as the first one, so you already know my thoughts about that. Pretty good. The single target attack could be better, but makes sense. Increases characters plus ultra gauge by 30%. That's really nice for PvE's VE tower because you want to be hitting more plus ultra moves, so that's pretty nice. And also the fact that she has like a built-in plus ultra gauge increase, so you can get those buffs and deal like pretty good damage from the plus ultra move is just nice to have. And then increases this skill's skill impact by 40% when the opponent has the ability to cover allies or draw aggro. That's really nice, especially for PvP, because like it's a good like tank buster, because a lot of like tanks have the ability to like draw aggro or cover allies, like for example Eraserhead, Kirishima, Redestro. So this will be pretty good to like wear down those opponents in PvP, so that's really nice. And then the cooldown time is 3 turns, which again, insane. 3-turn cooldown time, that's really good. So overall, this action skill again is pretty good. Plus ultra gauge increase 30%, again really good for VE tower. Increasing this skill's skill impact by 40% when the opponent has the ability to cover allies or draw aggro, really good for PvP. Now granted, just like the buff increases the freezing and frostbite resistance of all allies for 3 turns in the plus ultra move, is like both of those buffs are pretty niche, because again, they only really directly affect like a handful of characters. Because like I said, I mean, theoretically, besides like the new Getten boss, like how many other characters will freeze you and give you frostbite? You know what I'm saying? So like I said, theoretically this is going to be really good for that Getten climax battle boss, but as of right now, it only really affects like a handful of characters. So again, theoretically it could be really good, but for right now it's still nice, but it only like affects like a certain handful of characters. And again, this is really nice for PvP because it's a good, you know, tank busting move, because a lot of characters have the ability to cover and or draw aggro. But again, while like a good amount of characters have it, it's still just like a handful of characters from the roster. So if like a team doesn't have that certain tank, you're not going to get that buff. So again, theoretically, it could be really good if you do encounter like that tank. But again, it is only for like a certain handful of characters. You see what I'm saying? Like, it seems like she targets like specific groups of characters. So theoretically, she could be really good, but you have to be battling those certain characters. And again, it's not like these skills are bad. It's just that they're not reaching their full potential because you would have to battle these certain characters, if that makes any sense. But overall, it's still pretty good. Going over to our first auto skill, it's called Elastic Legs. So it will give the character penetrate and critical hit rate down immunity. So right off the rip, that's really interesting because the way penetrate works is, this is what the key term means. Basically, when she's dealing damage, she will ignore critical hit rate down that's caused by critical resistance up. So it's such a weird way of phrasing it, but like in a nutshell, what that means is that she'll ignore that resistance and just hit normally, if that makes any sense. Like, she'll like hit critical hits even though the opponent has a higher resistance to getting hit by critical hits. Like, so they should be theoretically getting hit less by critical hits, but she'll just ignore it and just hit critical hits as she normally would, if that makes any sense. Like, it's a really weird like keyword, like the description of that keyword, but I'm pretty sure that's what that means. Like, she will basically be hitting the standard amount of critical hits even if the opponent has like a resistance to critical hits. So they should be theoretically getting hit by less critical hits. She'll just be hitting them as like she would normally, if that makes any sense. Like, I'm pretty sure that's what penetrate means. And then critical hit rate down immunity is just really nice because that means she's completely immune to getting hit by critical hit rate down debuffs, which again means that like with critical hit rate down, that means you have like a lower chance of hitting critical hits because your critical hit rate has been decreased. But again, she's immune to that, so she can't, like, they can't lower her critical hit rate is what I'm trying to say. So that's really nice, especially because you want to be hitting more critical hits with this character. So overall, that's a really good first auto skill. Again, penetrate, ignoring critical resistance up basically. So you're ignoring the resistance to critical hits, so you're going to be hitting the standard amount of critical hits you normally would be hitting. But then on top of that, they can't lower your critical hit rate because she has critical hit rate down immunity. So pretty good. And then increases the character's critical hit rate by 50%. Just right off the rip, like, you just get a 50% increase on your critical hit rate, which is actually insane. 50% like increase on anything is really nuts. And the fact that it's the critical hit rate, that's really good, especially for VE tower, because you want to be hitting more critical hits. So that's really good for PvE. Increases characters, or sorry, I was reading the other one. Increases critical hit rate of all allies by 20% for 3 turns when used in a character. Wait, what? Oh my goodness, I can't read tonight. When used in characters successfully executed skill chain. So if you hit a successfully executed skill chain, you will increase the critical hit rate of all allies by 20% for 3 turns, which again is extremely good for VE tower because you want to be hitting as many critical hits as possible. So that's just really good for VE tower. So yeah, really good auto skill right there. And then going over to our last auto skill, it's called Spirit of Rivalry. After character initiates critical attacks 2 times, so after she hits 2 critical hit attacks, restores character's HP by 10% relative to the damage dealt to the opponent up to 5 times. So when she deals damage to an opponent after hitting 2 critical hits, the amount of damage the opponent takes, she'll restore her HP by 10% of that damage that she did to the opponent. So that's pretty good. Increases character's plus ultra effect by 10% up to 5 times. I'm pretty sure what plus ultra effect means is basically when you use a plus ultra move, it will obviously consume the plus ultra gauge. I'm pretty sure plus ultra effect means like that she will just get 10% back for hitting the plus ultra move, if that makes any sense. Like, basically 10% will just stay in the bar. I'm pretty sure that's what plus ultra effect means. I'm not 100% sure, but let me know down in the comments below if that's what that exactly means or not. And then increases character speed by 10% up to 5 times. Again, that's just really nice for PvP, just a nice speed buff increase. That's really good for the speed meta. And then gives character the ability to evade 2 times when HP is below 50% up to 3 times. So if you drop below 50%, you'll just get the ability to evade 2 times up to 3 times, which is just really nice to have. So again, overall, another really good auto skill. And again, that all happens after you just hit 2 critical hits, which we know that's what she wants to do because she gets a 50% critical hit rate increase, and then all the other buffs like penetrate and critical hit rate down immunity and stuff like that. So yeah, overall really good. But yeah, I think this character is probably going to be, honestly, a really good VE tower character, a PvE character. It seems like that's what they were building her for, which it's pretty good, but it's also kind of unfortunate given the fact that we really haven't gotten a lot of like VE tower content lately. So I guess just like a lot of her skills, theoretically, she's going to be a really good PvE character. But that just depends when they bring back VE tower. And then also, again, like, it seems like she's just going to be really good in other PvE like based content. Like, again, theoretically, she's probably going to be really good in the new Getten Climax battle. Theoretically, she'll probably be really good in a game mode that benefits stackable, like that term stackable. Like, it seems like theoretically she's probably going to be like one of like the better like PvE units. It just depends when they add more VE tower content, and depending on how the Getten Climax battle boss will work, and if they will add a game mode that will benefit like the term stackable. But she also seems like she'll be pretty good in PvP, again, because she has that speed increase, she has like a lot of evasion, and then also low cooldown times. Like, she seems like she's going to be good in Ultra Arena as well, but it seems like she's going to be a better like VE tower PvE character compared to like an Ultra Arena like PvP character. But yeah, overall I think she'll do well in both game modes, but as of right now I think she'll probably be a better PvE unit. And again, she seems like she's a very straightforward character, which again, straightforward doesn't mean bad. It just means that there's less for you to like worry or manage. Like, so it seems like you kind of can just go any action skill and then just activate the plus ultra move and then just rinse and repeat. So it's like you could go Luna Ring, Luna Fall, Luna Splash, or Luna Fall, Luna Ring, Luna Splash. Like, it just seems like you can kind of just go like in any order. As long as you hit the skill chain, you should be fine. It doesn't seem like she has like any direct combo route because, again, she seems pretty straightforward. But yeah, that is Swimsuit Mirko and her moveset. So we're going to actually take her into her event, Making Waves Water Sports. So yeah, let's just get into it. Alrighty, so like I said, I want to show off Mirko gameplay-wise in the Making Waves Water Sports event. And the main reason why I want to show her off here compared to like somewhere like Ultra Arena or VE Tower is because with this event, they released 2 new stages, with each of those stages having 2 different variations. I believe they're new. I'm not actually 100% sure if they're new or not, but at the very least, I know they're summer event exclusive stages, so at the very least, they're not in the game 100% of the time. So I thought, why not show off these 2 new stages while also showing off the new character, and also, it just fits the theme. I mean, it is Swimsuit Mirko, and the 2 different stages take place on the beach, so I think it makes sense. And the way you access these 2 different stages, and again, both of them have 2 different variations, is in the event quest and the boss battles. So in the event quest, on the normal stages, you have the daytime version of this one, and then the hard one, you have the nighttime version. And then with the boss battles, the ultra stage is at night, and easy, normal, and hard are during the day. So my plan is we're going to take a look at all 4 stages, and I think that'll work out pretty nicely because these battles are pretty easy, but if we have a lot of them, then we'll still get a lot of like gameplay footage with Mirko. So I think it should be a lot of fun, and that is the plan. So we'll start off with the event quest battles, and we'll take a look at the normal version of it, which is stage 1 during the day, and we'll take a look at the team I designed for her. So here is, oh, well, okay, wait, I forgot I had to pick up a guest character. We'll just do this one. We're not going to use the guest, but we will get a bonus because they have a memory that gives off a bonus. But here's the team I designed for Mirko. It's nothing too specific. It's more like themed because Mirko is a very straightforward character. And again, that's not bad. Like, straightforward isn't bad. It's just, you know, like, you don't really have to do too much to activate her gimmick. Like, you don't need like a certain like teammate or support memory, or just a combo in her kit to like activate her gimmick. Like, she kind of just does it passively, which is good. Again, straightforward doesn't mean bad, you know, it's good. I think like having straightforward characters really like evens out the game, where you have more like technical characters, and then you have more like straightforward characters that you can do like more fun things, like run like themed teams like I'm doing here, which, as you can see, all these characters are either in swimsuits or like summer themed. So that's why I made this team the way I did. It's more themed rather than like trying to accomplish something specific. And then the memory I gave her is the new memory called Calm of the Raging Sea. So this memory is on the same banner she is on. And basically, it also gives an event bonus for the Making Waves water sports event, which will increase event items obtained from boss battles by 5%, which is really nice. And the skill is when character is not affected by critical hit rate down, which we know she will never be affected by critical hit rate down because she has an immunity to it. Increases character's critical skill impact by 45%, which is really nice. That means all of her critical hits are going to be hitting even harder, and we know that she's trying to hit more critical hits, so really nice. And critical resistance by 15%, so that's also just a really nice buff as well. And then increases character's max HP by 20% when equipped by a pro hero character, which we know Mirko falls under that category, so she just also gets a max HP buff by 20% as well. And again, this memory was obviously designed for her, so you know, if you have this memory running on her, it's definitely like the best one for her. And yeah, I mean, besides that, I guess like anything else that kind of like does something remotely similar, like, you know, increasing critical skill impact probably is something you would want to be looking out for, because again, she's going to be hitting a lot of critical hits. Yeah, I don't think you really need to boost her critical hit rate up because she has a lot of that in her kit. Her cooldown times are good, so you don't really need a cooldown reduction memory. But yeah, I honestly think this is the best one, so if you have it, definitely run it. And that's the team I designed for Mirko, so let's just dive into the battle. Alrighty, there is Mirko's intro. It's not our Mirko, it's the boss's Mirko, but I mean, it's still the same intro no matter like how you look at it. But yeah, it's a really cool intro. She strikes her pose and stuff like that. I think it's a really cool intro. Here is the first stage during the daytime, so it's the first stage and its first variation. As you can see, you see the beach in the background, some islands, you got like a beach chair and umbrella. And also, because of how easy this is, I'm just going to show off Mirko and not like do any like special skill chains. We'll just take a look at her like base damage by herself, because again, these are really easy. As you can see, there's like a resort in the background, which looks really cool, a beach ball in the water. It's a pretty cool stage. I like the summer feel to it. Like, it definitely feels like something designed for summer. But yeah, pretty good damage wise, even not in like a combo chain. Like, she just pumps out pretty good damage. Like, look at that, 22,000 plus, and we're on turn 2 and she's by herself like doing damage. Like, that is pretty good. Like, just base damage, like pretty good. Like 4.7k plus damage just for a normal attack, pretty good. But yeah, that's the first stage and that's her base damage. You get a volleyball net in the background as well. I like the stage, I really do. So let's take a look at the other version of the stage, which will be at night, and yeah, we'll show off more gameplay with Mirko. Alrighty, we're doing this stage at night now. So yeah, again, pretty much the same stage except it's dark out. But yeah, I honestly, I think I prefer the daytime, mainly because it just feels like it fits the beach more. But the nighttime variation is a nice welcome like addition. Like, I like how the stage has 2 different variations. Like, I think it just feels like there's more. Like, I think that's really cool. And I definitely like it at night, like with the stars and stuff. I think that's a very nice touch. But yeah, we're still just going to be doing as much damage as we can with just Mirko alone, no skill chains or anything like that. We'll take a look at her just base damage. Also, of course, we can't use a skill, and we just hit Jiro in the face. My bad, Jiro. Jiro actually might die here, but no, I believe we can finish this up with no losses. But yeah, just good damage just by herself. Like, just I think that's kind of impressive, so I can't wait to see how she does with like skill chains. I think that'll be like insane damage. Like, it's really nice to have characters feel like they do like a lot of damage instead of like doing like a lot of damage over time. Like, it's a very nice like those types of characters always feel good to me, like when I know they're pumping out like a lot of damage. Also, it looks like we did lose a teammate, but you know, it's all good. We can still see more of this theme team. But if you guys know what I'm saying, like, there are some characters in this game that obviously like do a lot of damage over time, or like they need like a lot of time to get started, but it's always nice to have just characters that feel like they're doing like a lot of damage off the rip, and I feel like that's how this Mirko feels like. Like, look at that, 22,000 plus damage with no like combo chains or anything like that. Like, it's just good damage. Like, I really like it. Plus these nice cooldown times. It's just a very good feeling when a character does like a lot of damage, and I think that's like what Mirko's strong point is, like doing a lot of damage. But yeah, that is the other version of the stage. So now let's take a look at the second stage during the day, and then obviously we'll take a look at it at night, and we'll still talk about more about Mirko with combo chains this time. Alrighty, so right off the rip, you can already see some differences on this stage. So we are tackling the hardest version of like the boss battle. It's still pretty easy, but we will be showing off skill chains now to see her damage. But yeah, here is the other stage. As you can see, it looks like the battle has like moved down the beach, and we're more near like the cliffside and stuff like that. There's no longer like the beach chair and like umbrella or like the beach ball. And I'm pretty sure when we look at behind us, yeah, there's no resort anymore. It's just like the cliffside. I like this stage a lot, but I think I like the other one more, mainly because it's like right in front of like a beach resort, so it still feels more like beach-like, like it feels like a vacation kind of like feeling. But yeah, so we're just doing some skill chains now. Again, I feel like you can kind of do like her combo route in like any order as long as you hit like the skill chain. Like it's important to like make sure you're like hitting successfully executed skill chains to get like those buffs. But I feel like you can kind of go about it in any order. And the damage output so far seems to be really good. Let's take a look at her plus ultra move though, and see how much damage that does. And yeah, it's got a custom background with like that same beach resort, and honestly I think it's the first stage that's what the background is. Like it had the beach resort, it had the beach ball, but yeah, she runs up, kicks the opponent, launches them into the water, which causes a huge explosion, and then she strikes her pose. It's a very good plus ultra move. I love the background. I love it when they add custom backgrounds, and again, I think that custom background actually is the first stage, which is pretty cool. That's like a nice Easter egg. But yeah, it also did really good damage as well, and yeah, that is this battle. So let's move on to the final one, and this will be the hardest version, so let's see what we can do. Alrighty, as you can see, it's the same stage except at night now. And again, I think I prefer the stage in the day, but at night it definitely is pretty nice. Like, I mean, again, I like the variety. It's not bad. Like I like it like still at night, but I think I prefer the daytime more, again, just because it feels more like you're at the beach. But yeah, it's still nice to have the variety. So let's see how much damage she does. Like, let's pay more like attention to see how much damage she does with like a combo chain activated, like with like additional buffs and stuff like that. So 5.2k plus damage per hit there, but it's a multi-hit, so that quickly racks up damage wise. That's pretty nice. Let's keep going here. So let's see how much this damage does, or this move does in terms of like damage. 28,000 plus. That's also really nice, especially on turn 2. And her base damage seems to be doing pretty good, especially because she's hitting like a lot of like critical hits, which is really nice. Let's take a look at how much damage her plus ultra move does, and we can see it again. I love the background. That explosion is really nice, and she strikes her pose. Like, it's a very good plus ultra. Also, I did not pay attention to how much damage that did, but I was just so like, I was so like captivated with the actual like animation itself. Like, I was like, oh man, that's such a pretty animation. But then I'm like, oh wait, hold on, we were supposed to be paying attention to how much damage she did. But yeah, my bad. We should get it another time, so we can take a look at it once we build it back up. But yeah, let's just try to keep switching up the combo route, because again, I'm pretty sure it doesn't really matter. You get the same effect as long as you hit the combo route successfully. Also, 45,000 plus damage was pretty nuts. Here we go, we got the plus ultra again. We can now see how much damage it does by itself, so here we go. We can see the animation again, but I'm not going to get distracted. How much damage? 42,000 plus damage. Pretty good. That's like really good damage. Again, I like it when characters feel like they're doing like a lot of damage, and she definitely feels like she's doing like a lot of damage. I can't wait to try her out in the new Get and Climax battle. Like, I feel like theoretically, like, while I think she's doing really good now, I think she could be doing even better once we see her like in action in like a scenario that like she can really thrive in theoretically. Like, I'm really excited to see how well she can do there. But again, that's all theoretically, because again, we don't know what the gimmick will be for the climax battle, but I'm assuming it's going to be something that Mirko can handle. But yeah, at the very least, I know she's going to be doing like a lot of damage, which is going to be really nice. And we should be tanking this because of evasion. Oh no, I guess she got rid of evasion beforehand. But yeah, it's all good. We should be able to finish off the battle here with this combination of attacks here. So let's see. Boom. Boom, or maybe not. Mirko would have to somehow do 76,000 plus damage, but we'll see here. Let's see. She might be able to do it with these additional buffs, but I'm not 100% sure, because last time it was like 40,000 plus. So yeah, 47,000 plus damage. If you definitely run like good support characters that give like a lot of like buffs, she definitely will be doing more. But like, even with like a themed team, she's doing really good damage, like really good damage. But yeah, that's Swimsuit Mirko in My Hero Ultra Impact. Overall, she's like a really good character, and I definitely think she'll keep getting better as like the game progresses. Like again, with that new climax battle, if they ever introduce like a PvE game mode that like benefits the term stackable, like she definitely will keep getting better as the game progresses. And again, she's also really good on her own, but then picture like battling like a certain group of characters, like tanks for example in PvP, or characters that can freeze or give you frostbite. Like when you're battling those characters, she's going to be doing even better because she has things that directly counter those characters. Now granted, again, that's not the whole roster, but at the very least, if you do battle those groups of characters, you know you're going to be doing even better. And again, like even if you're not battling those characters, she's going to be doing great damage like as is. Like she's a pretty good character. I definitely like her kit, and yeah, like overall I'm pretty satisfied with this character. I'm actually really happy with this character. I think she's doing really good. Also, we didn't really talk about her in-game model. In-game model, she looks good. I like her like jersey like coat over her swimsuit. It like matches her colors of like her pro hero costume and stuff, and I think the design is pretty cool, plus the sunglasses, especially in her like outro pose as she's holding them. So yeah, overall like a really cool character. I'm really happy with this character, and it's really cool to see such a unique character in this game. Again, not only because she's a unique character like just period, but also this is a unique variant of the character. So yeah, overall I'm really satisfied with this character, and I hope you guys get to summon for her and try her out because she's very nice. And yeah, that's Swimsuit Mirko and My Hero Ultra Impact. If you guys did enjoy, please like and subscribe. That'd be really amazing. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys next time. Later.